This is Valerie.
And this is Jacinta.
And you're listening to Catholics, a Catholic podcast by millennials for millennials.
Thanks for tuning in. We're here to talk about not being Catholic enough.
That's right.
Yes.
Have you ever said to yourself, I'm just not Catholic enough?
I know
Probably.
I have.
Oh yeah, totally. All the time.
I always actually feel too Catholic, to be honest.
Whoa. Woohoo!
No, like, seriously. I don't know.
You feel like people judge you because, you're...
No,
you just feel
not
like...
necessarily people judge me. I just feel like everything about me is, super Catholic. Except, my job, I'm in the pro-life movement.
See, I feel like that's how I should feel. I feel like I'm not Catholic enough because I look at people like Jacinta and go, whoa, I'm not doing all these things. I'm not Catholic enough. Not every aspect of my life is Catholic like it should be.
Not every aspect is oozing with Catholicism.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
But judgment. That's the problem. Is that we judge ourselves against other people.
Definitely. So there's two sides to this. If you're feeling that way, how can you do better?
Right. Maybe there's some reason that you're feling, I'm not Catholic enough. And maybe you should be,
evaluating
your spiritual life. Sure.
Right. Definitely. I was at Mass yesterday, and I was in the pew after Mass praying, and this man walks by that looks like a priest. I found out later he's a deacon. But he was like, are you okay? And I was like, are you okay?
She didn't actually say that.
No, I didn't. That would have been cool if I did, though. But I was like, yeah, I'm okay. And he was like, I just never see people praying after Mass. And I was like, that's a problem. That's pretty sad.
Right, so maybe, we as Catholics aren't Catholic enough.
Right.
Today's...
Definitely.
Catholic Church.
For sure. And in that particular parish, I don't know what could have been
maybe
going on there.
But maybe that just wasn't their culture,
Yeah, for sure. So, the point is that even if maybe you do feel like I'm not Catholic enough, maybe there's a reason why you feel that way.
Right, but that doesn't mean, you should, beat yourself up about it, right? You have to be patient with yourself, but it should be a call to go, okay, where can I enhance my spiritual life? What more could I be doing?
Right, exactly. And even other people, I remember going on pilgrimage with this one Catholic speaker who is beautiful and amazing and wonderful, and she's doing ministry and it's all really good stuff. And I remember asking this person, hey, do you go to daily Mass? And they were like, ha ha ha. They're like, Jacinta, you're so cute. And I was like, what? That was a genuine question.
Right.
But this person has 5 kids, so
right, she can't fit it in.
She can't fit it in. And not everybody's lives are going to be able to fit all of that stuff in. So, there's,
we all practice our...
There's a balance.
Right,
yeah.
we follow the teachings of the church, and we have these set, commandments and things that we're, God calls us to, right? To give us a guideline of the way we should live our lives, but,
right.
He doesn't tell us... Well, he does tell us how to pray. He tells us to pray the Our Father.
Right.
But he doesn't specifically say, you must go to adoration for X amount of time every week.
Right.
He calls us to go to Mass every Sunday.
Uh-huh.
But for some of us, we may go more. Some of us, we might not. We do other things. Everyone's spiritual life does look different.
Right.
And that's okay.
There's so many different spiritualities.
Which is why it's hard to compare yourself against those people.
Right, definitely. But it's also good to have people in your lives who are striving for virtue.
Right. Oh, totally.
My roommates in Denver, I always felt oh my gosh, I'm not Catholic enough around them. I did feel
right, you're I'm not Catholic enough around them.
They're, amazing and wonderful and holy, and, they seriously pushed me to virtue, and it's always good to have those people in your life.
That's a great and beautiful thing, yeah.
Yeah.
The saints. We're looked to call,
yeah.
to be like the saints.
And that one Catholic speaker that I mentioned always says, push yourself and, choose people in your lives who are holier and smarter than you.
Yeah.
Because she's like, that will even out your average. And I'm like,
yes.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. So it's all about your disposition and, knowing yourself and knowing what God is calling you to do. And really being okay with that. So, as long as you're doing exactly what Jesus wants you to do and you're talking to him, then nothing else really matters. Not what anybody else thinks really matters. And
right.
so that's the goal.
Because
to get
honestly,
to that.
None of us are ever Catholic enough. Because until we get to heaven, that's when we know that we're fully there, right?
Absolutely.
And we've made it.
Yeah, definitely.
As human beings, we're never... On one hand, we're never enough, and at the other time, we're always enough. right?
Right.
There's two sides to that. We're always enough for Jesus. But on the other hand, we should always be striving for more.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Definitely.
So it's kind of its own mystery in itself. It's like hard to explain, you know, like how do you tell someone like you're enough, but do
you're
better.
not. Yeah.
But you're not. That's right. Yeah. You're enough, but you're not.
Right. We're enough for Jesus.
We're enough for Jesus, but he always wants us to be better.
Right. I've always heard this phrase, like, God loves you so much that he wants to draw you out of the place that you're at, wherever that is, but he doesn't want to leave you in that mess that you're in. So he loves us where we're at, but he loves us enough to where he doesn't want to leave us where we're at. Because ultimately we're called to grow and to become holier and
totally.
Yeah. And we won't be full until we're like totally in heaven. Then we'll be enough. And
exactly.
We'll be like, hey, I made it. I'm enough.
Yeah,
Yay.
totally.
Yeah.
But I know this is something Jacinta and I wanted to talk about because I think we all feel that way. Like we feel like we're not enough in some capacity, you know? And a lot of times, like when you're around other great Catholics, which is a great thing, you look at the things they do and you go, I'm not Catholic enough. I'm not doing enough. And like Jacinta had mentioned, maybe it is a sign to go, okay, what can I do more? But that comparison doesn't mean like you have to be doing, just because you're not doing exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're not good, you know? Like you're
Right.
probably doing things that they're not doing.
And
that are also good and beautiful. So,
and you can go to daily mass and daily holy hour and still
not
be
be a
enough.
good Catholic. I mean, unfortunately.
Yeah, like I've been doing that for a while now, and last year I just felt so selfish, just because I felt like I was just living for myself, and like that's something I really had to temper and fix. So like on the outside, it looks like I'm doing all of these amazing things. I'm doing ministry, but I still felt like that itch of like, oh my gosh, I'm so selfish. And so I had to do something about that. And that's where I like did a girls version of Exodus 90 with my girlfriends. And it was like, we gave up so much during that 90 days. But like God calls us to go deeper and deeper and deeper. And so like, I felt like some of that selfishness was tempered during that time. And I learned a lot. So there's always ways that we can grow.
Always. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I still struggle with selfishness.
Totally, because
that
all comes back.
Yeah,
I mean that also comes back to original sin, right? So Adam and Eve were selfish. I mean, they wanted to be the best. Mm-hmm. So that was the original sin, you know, pride and selfishness, and
right.
So
definitely.
All of our sin is rooted from that because of Adam and Eve's original sin, right? So
thanks, Eve. I'm just kidding.
I'm kidding.
No, yeah, that's so right. It comes from that place of doubt. When Eve grasped for the apple, like, does God really love me? Like, listening to that lie of Satan, like, did God really tell you not to eat from the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil? For God knows that if you do eat from this, your eyes will be open and you will become like gods. And so there's that sense of doubt, like, oh my gosh, is God holding out on me?
Right, and we still, that doubt comes back, and we still go, am I enough? And we still go, oh, I'm not enough for God. And that's the lie. The lie is to tell yourself you're not enough for God, because you are.
Right.
But when you start to go, am I doing enough for yourself, you can always do more. But never let that make you believe that you're not enough for God.
Exactly.
Because you're always enough for Him.
Yeah, He loves us where we're at.
He loves you so much that He wants you to become better as much as you can.
Right.
So I think that's where, like, there's two sides to that coin, right? That you shouldn't just be happy with where you're at. You should always be striving for growth, but you should never let Satan tell you the lie that you're not Catholic enough.
Right.
That you're not enough. Because you are enough.
Amen. Yeah. Can I get that tattooed on my arm?
Enough.
Yeah.
Take it however you want.
Exactly.
You look down at your arm and you've had too much food. Enough. Okay, God, I got you.
Yeah. It's so good, though. It's good to have these conversations and to remember this. Yeah. Because we want to be on the good path. I think I'm just tired. I still feel travel hungover from my flight.
Yeah.
Fiasco.
As we said earlier, we're on a double tonight.
Yeah.
Summer's busy, so like we had to record this one ahead of time so that we can try to get one out to you every week. So.
Yeah. No, I'm still travel hungover. But not hungover, travel hungover. From staying in an airport for 18 hours. But yeah.
If you haven't heard that story, go back and listen to the previous podcast.
Yeah.
Where we talk about being uncomfortable.
That was definitely uncomfortable. But yeah, so just remember that not to compare, you know what I mean? So just to always be striving for virtue and knowing like what God is calling each of us to. And that's why it's good to have community and sisters, if you're looking for community, to have those awesome, authentic women around you. And if you're a guy, to have those guys who are going to call you to higher virtue. It's so important to be inspired by other people, and maybe God's calling you to inspire other people too. But it's important to have that so that we can sharpen each other and inspire one another to just grow deeper into the faith. So get that community and have those people around you who are going to even out your average.
Yep, find those people.
Yeah.
Find those people. And if you are sitting there telling yourself tonight that you're not enough, you are enough. But remember, you can always do better.
You can. Yeah.
So I think it's that mindset of just being positive about it rather than beating yourself up.
Yeah,
I'll always say, be patient with yourself.
That's so true. There's a balance of, like, wanting to grow and then also being gentle with yourself in the process.
Yep, absolutely.
So...
Well,
yeah.
Thank you for listening, friends.
Thank you for tuning in, and we hope you catch us on our next podcast.
Yes, and if you're not following us on Instagram,
do it.
Check us out at Catholics Podcast.
We keep cutting each other off. Rather, I just keep cutting Valerie off.
No, we're good. We're just...
No, it's good. All good things. Thank you for tuning in. May God bless you abundantly. Follow us on Catholics Podcast. And
we love you all so much. Be gentle with yourself, friends.
Bye.
Bye.